Goals, 3 points and up to 6th in the table, and one of their goal scorers, Mason Mount, waiting to speak to us right now. Good evening to you, Mason. Thank you for speaking. Just to let you know, we've got someone you might know who's with us tonight. We're showing him the ropes. James Madison, his name is. You may have heard of him, and he may get involved, but I will kick things off if that's okay, Mason. Tell us how that feels after what felt like a very good performance, an emphatic victory in the end, and for you back in the team and another goal.
Yeah, it was an important win for us. Obviously, first half we let them back in it before half time, and we go into the change room frustrated and disappointed with the end to the first half. Yeah, the manager had a few things to say, and we come out there, and it was down to us to really attack with a purpose and finish these chances that we were creating. So yeah, I think we're happy with the second half. I thought in parts the first half as well. So yeah, overall, very happy with that.
You certainly created a lot of chances, 4 goals, as we know, but 27 shots you had in the game. What was the key to getting so many shots on goal tonight, do you think?
I think, yeah, just attacking with freedom. I thought, yeah, some of the combinations going forward were crisp, were sharp, and that's what we can do. We know we can do that, and it's about us creating as many chances as we can as forward players and trying to get on the score sheet. So yeah, I thought going forward we were solid today, and obviously in defence it's about defending as a team and not letting them get any chance to get back into the game.
Mason, a lot's been made over the the setup and the system the manager uses and whether it suits certain players. But is that system with 2 number 10s absolutely perfect for you?
It's a system that I've obviously played before. I've got experience in that position. I know the kind of pockets and spaces that there is in that formation. So yeah, I'm used to it. I know when to drop a little bit deeper and when I know to go into the forward positions and get in behind. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it tonight. And yeah, it's as a team, I think we're definitely improving, and we need to keep winning games.
Hi, Mace. No question from me, mate. I couldn't think of one. But just wanted to say, no, seriously, I thought you were brilliant tonight. Like, showed honestly, we were talking off camera, so many like touches of class. You look like you're back to your firing best. And as I was saying to these, you're such a good guy off the pitch and got a great family, great network. It's a pleasure to see you playing like that, mate, and having a smile on your face after a tough period out. And yeah, buzzing for you, mate.
No, I really appreciate that, mate. Yeah, it's obviously it's good to be back out. I know we obviously spoke after when we played, but yeah, really good, feeling good at the moment. Listen, we love being on the pitch and being able to create chances and get on the ball. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see you when you're back, mate.
Appreciate that, buddy. Let's see your goal, Mason. I think you've got a monitor there. Talk us through the finish. Really crisp finish, this. This is when you start getting interested.
Yeah, as soon as I see obviously Bruno with the ball and has time and space to turn, that's my trigger to running behind and trying to time my run. I thought it was going to be a bit close, but obviously dropped back a bit and yeah, kept me on side. So yeah, delighted with that. And as I said before, it was about being ruthless in the second half and finishing our chances off.
Yeah, you had a little look, didn't you, just to be sure? But that combination, do you feel that's a nice, nice combination with you and Bruno? Yeah, listen,
we all know the calibre of player he is, and as soon as he gets on the ball, he's looking to create something. So yeah, it's a joy to play with as a player that's a bit more higher up, as you know. He's going to look, he's going to try and play the ball over the top. So yeah, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that one.
And just a final thought on what James was saying, really. Do you feel like Manchester United fans are now seeing the best of Mason Mount?
Yeah, listen, it's any time I play, I obviously want to play to the best of my ability and perform. I've had setbacks, I've had difficult times. I feel now I really need to keep pushing on and keep building on these performances. Getting in the goals, that's the most important thing as a forward player. And just keep going and keep working hard. That's exactly what I'm focusing on now.
Well done tonight. Really good finish, Mason. Great goal. And Terrific win as well for Manchester United. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers.
Is he one of your favourites, James? Come and join us.
Yeah, no, like I say, he's just such a nice lad off the pitch. Like, genuinely, he's just a good person. So whenever you have friends like that in football, no matter whoever they play for, rival teams and stuff, there's a lot of satisfaction in seeing him do well, because I know obviously he's been through a tough time these past couple of years with injuries.
Yeah, did it feel like it was sort of weighing heavy on him? Because of a big price tag as well.
Yeah, big price tag, massive club, big expectations, and it just didn't start probably the way he wanted it to. But it's quite inspiring for me, especially someone who's going through a difficult period now being out, seeing him come out the other side of it. And okay, he'll still want more steps and to do this consistently, but seeing that's quite inspiring, especially from a friend. So yeah, like I said, buzzing for him.
Yeah, a lovely good news story. Let's take you back to the first of the goals this evening, and it wasn't very pretty, Jamie, was it?
No, it wasn't, and it probably summed up the first half. Really, a lot of quality, and then what quality there was. I think Mason Mount was at the heart of it, really. But I mean, Andre's really poor on the ball. The pressing from Casemiro, it almost feels like a training session where you're not allowed to tackle. But fair play to Casemiro, he sees the opportunity there and jumps and wins the ball.
Do you think Cunha might have gone for goal there?
Yeah, maybe that's a little lack of confidence. He's got Bruno behind him as well. It's one of those goals that's going to end up on own goals and gaffes. So you know, one of them.
I don't think they do that anymore.
A blooper video, or
the VHS
about how poor the standard of football is. But as James mentioned at half-time, Manchester United fans don't care. Bruno doesn't care. Another goal to his, the amount of goals he's already amassed at Manchester United.
He does so well to engineer the shot. And then this was a little bit of, well, it was a warning shot, wasn't it, just before half-time?
Yeah, listen, I mentioned this at half-time, but when you're trying to get your team to score goals and you haven't got the quality, what can you actually ask them to do? Getting players in the box, getting players on the last line the manager mentioned before the game, and that's what they do. And it's a brilliant finish, that, because it's not a great ball, and it's just blasted at him, really. That was a great cross. This isn't really. It's just blasted in, and he's just being lucky. He'll get the assist, but it was more about the finish.
They got in so many times, didn't they? Half Manchester United, 27 shots in total in the game. James, what was the key to that, do you think?
Well, Bruno was at the heart of everything. Bruno's just such a top player. I actually think Bruno's. He doesn't have a massive part in that goal. He still has the ball in the build-up, but the other goals as well. I think he's actually probably underrated to many, Bruno. And I know he gets a lot of plaudits anyway, but I still think he is kind of underrated, like for the quality that he shows consistently.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But I mean, what do you think about the guy who's come in from Brentford, Brian?
No, he's been brilliant. He's like hit the ground running. We talk about signings needing time. He hasn't. He's done really well. And again, he's one of them who just looks like a threat on goal, doesn't he? Every time he plays, he's always getting chances if he's not scoring. And he got on the score sheet again.
With this is Bruno Fernandes. We've spoke to Mason Mount about his goal again, but
the trigger.
I mean, you've said before you actually think Bruno Fernandes is underrated.
Just that, every time he's on the ball, he does like to always look for the longer pass. He looks short, and some players' ability to be able to see every pass without having to look short, look long. He can just see it all, and the quality he has, you've seen with the Mason goal. It's on a plate for him, and he does that time and time again.
Yeah, and this is the penalty. I mean, it comes from a Bruno Fernandes corner. Picks out his mate on the edge of the box, and that's where the penalty comes from. They were probably fortunate in the first half. Wolves actually didn't give another penalty away. Probably a little hard done by Manchester United.
So Bruno steps up to take the penalty. We were having this little conversation in the studio. I wondered if Cunha might actually, because he's had 8 shots tonight without scoring. Bruno, as we were discussing, has missed 2 of his previous 3. Do you think that might have been the motivation for him to actually want it?
Yeah, and also 3-1's not, the game's not done and dusted at 3-1. The manager won his best penalty taker taking it. I think Cunha missed one earlier in a shootout as well when they went out of the cup.
The famous one at Grimsby.
Yeah, so I think the manager would have wanted the best penalty taker taking that to get the cushion.
But if you're thinking bigger picture, you talked about Brian and Burmo getting the goals, and that helps him settle after the big move. Is that not what Cunha needs himself, and that will then help the team?
Yeah, but that'll come for Cunha. I have no doubt about that. He's just a player with high quality. You look tonight how many shots he had. He's in and amongst it. He's, like I said before the game, he's still such a big threat on goal. The goals will come for him. I think the most important thing was just scoring the penalty, and Bruno's the best at that.
I think James is right there. I think if it's 4-1, I think you probably give it to him and maybe let him take it. I think Bruno Fernandes would do that. 3-1's that awkward one. If that penalty's missed, they get a goal from nowhere in the next 10 minutes or so. You're hanging on with a minute to go. I mean, honestly, no. And There was 9 minutes added at the end of the game as well. So you can imagine that if a situation like that, we'd be the first to criticise, you know, maybe Bruno Fernandes or him passing the ball to Cunha. So no, that was the right decision from Bruno.
4-1 it finished from 27 shots that Manchester United had in a game, the most have had in any match under Ruben Amorim so far, and their highest XG in a game.
Ruben, it took a while to get into your stride, but you must be really pleased with how convincing it was in the end tonight.
Yes, of course. I think we started the game really well. We scored the goal and we let a little bit Wolves to come back to the game. We suffered in the last play of the first half, but then in the second half, with good pace, with good quality in the decision, we finished the game and also Wolves is in one difficult moment, so I think it was a good win.
You had the most shots of any game since you've been in charge. I know you can only play against the opposition in front of you, but did that show perhaps you're getting more clinical?
No, we scored 4, but we had a lot of shots, so I cannot make that connection with more clinical. I think we improved a lot. If you compare last season and this season, we are creating so much more chances and score more goals and having more real situations of danger, so I'm really pleased with that.
You brought Mason Mount into the team. You must be really pleased with the way he worked with the front three and the way they were particularly fluid throughout the match.
Yeah, they have the quality to do that. They can change positions, especially if you play a guy like Mateus Cunha. He moves more than a normal 9 or typical 9, so we took advantage of that.
If there was a concern, it must have been that you only went in 1-1 at half-time. Were the words needed to be said that you had let Wolves back into the game then?
Yeah, well, that was clear. It was so clear that the players felt that we scored a goal, we have the game control, we are creating chances, no chances for the opposition, but we need to understand that in our moment anything can happen. And it doesn't matter the result, we need to push forward, and we did that in the second half.
And was the early goal in the second half perhaps key to that and giving the players the belief to push on?
Yeah, but I felt since the first minute that if it's not sooner, we would win the game. So I really enjoyed the way we played the second half.
And looking forward, really important to build on this now and put in another performance like that with that creativity?
Yeah, every week that we win a game, I have that question. So we need to win the next one. This one is in the past. Let's go.
Thanks for your time, Ruben.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Yes, they were disappointed to drop points last week, but maybe, as Ruben Amorim says, they are building something now. Lost 1 of their last 9. In fact, only Manchester City have outscored them over that same period. It's particularly away from home, Jamie. They seem to be building some consistency.
Yes, but as he said he's answered that question so often. It feels like when we're making sort of those assumptions about Man United, there's a bad result round the corner. And they are the Monday Night Football team at the moment. They're on again next week, and that'll be a much tougher proposition. But this result tonight will be dressed up as like, oh, they're playing Wolves. They've only got 2 points. Wolves are awful. I mean, listen, they've gone away from home in the Premier League. They've won 4-1, look really convincing. Yes, Wolves are a poor team, but we're talking about a Manchester United team who lost at home to Everton with 10 men, drew at home to West Ham, who were in the relegation zone as well. So when you actually look at the results they've had, certainly at home against teams they should beat, to go away from home and win 4-1, win convincing, that'll give them a little bit of confidence going into, as I said, a much tougher game next Monday. And
an important game as well before they start to lose players for the African Cup of Nations. We'll watch them against Bournemouth next Monday. I think they're going to be available for that game. Just double check myself. 6:30 as ever, Sky Sports Premier League. Now, what about the Wolves side of this story? 4 straight defeats for Rob Edwards in his first 4 games in charge. Here he is with Johnny.
You seem to have moments of spirit and even quality at times, but was it perhaps the energy and the overall quality that counted against you?
Overall quality, there was a difference, no doubt about it, but we gifted the first 3 goals away, Johnny, and from half-time when we put ourselves in a position to, we were back in the game and finished really strong that first half. So there was a positive energy, there was a good feel around. Then to start the second half as we did was really, quite baffling. We gifted the 3 goals, the first 3 goals. It was honestly, it was like, watching maybe a kids' game for elements of the first 3 goals that we gave away. And so yeah, if you do that at this level, you're not going to win.
Is it really hard to sort of put your finger on why that is? The first goal in particular looks something, as you said, from a kids' game. Is that just a confused mentality amongst the players?
No, I just think there was a bit of decision making, but then the reaction then after we've lost the ball needs to improve. Second one, we're in a really good moment. Obviously, it was when the moment that JJ got injured as well. We got a great chance to go on the attack, and then we end up within a few seconds then conceding ourselves with some poor decisions. And the third one, I think we won it back about 4 times. Just kept giving it them back, and you're going to be you're up against it. You can't win a game of football if you're doing that. And obviously then at 3-1, it's difficult. The whole atmosphere is difficult, and it's hard to come back from there.
How tough is that on the sidelines when you're sort of facing a damage limitation situation? You know you can't get back into it, and you're against a team with a lot of quality and a lot of confidence.
Really, really difficult. The conversation on the side, you want to show a willingness to try and get back in the game and try and win it, but on the flip side, that their counter-attacking is deadly. You could leave yourself open. You're taking defenders off and going with more attacking players. So there's a lot of difficult decisions, and especially once it goes to 3-1.
You'll have been aware as well that a lot of fans didn't come in until 15 minutes into the game, and there are a considerable number protesting outside. Can you understand where they're coming from?
Yeah, of course. They've not seen a team win for ages. So I get the anger and the frustration completely. If I was a supporter, I'd be angry myself, because we all want to see our team competing, and at the moment we're not doing that.
And in terms of going forward, do you feel this is something that's going to be bubbling along for quite some time now in terms of the protest against the ownership?
I can't control that. I'll just try and look after the team and try and try and help build some confidence and try and build some belief. And those are the only things that I can concentrate on, Johnny, to be honest.
Appreciate your time, Rob.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Just on that AFCON issue before we turn to Wolves, there's still a lot of uncertainty at Old Trafford. The last couple of days was the last update we had on it from Ruben Amorim, actually, and that whole right side, as was referenced by Peter Drury in commentary, Mazraoui, Amad Diallo and Mbeumo could all be going before or after the Bournemouth game, or maybe one or two of them might be going and one might be available. We will see in due course. Now, as for Wolves, Jamie, it's looking very bleak, isn't it? But there's still so much of the season to go. So how do you see this turning out?
I think Wolves are going down. I thought they would do at the start of the season, but I thought they'd be a lot more competitive than this. They made a managerial change as well, and it hasn't had the desired effect. We talk about a managerial bounce. Normally that happens in the first few games, and then a team revert back to what they are. They haven't even had the bounce. There was maybe green shoots against Aston Villa, where it was a really good performance. He felt he should have got something from the game. I actually thought if they replicated that performance, they could give Manchester United the game tonight, but we may see some of the defending and the carry on there against an average Manchester United team. We know that. I think, they're, Wolves are going down. It's just how much of a fight they put up between now and the end of the season, but they will be playing in the Championship next season.
Oh dear. Tough night for Wolves in what's been a very difficult season so far. It's been a tough one for James Madison as well, because he's had a watching brief because of the injury he picked up pre-season, but he's had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to reflect.
Manchester United returned to winning ways in emphatic fashion with a 4-1 victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux. After a tight first half, United found their rhythm and tore the Wolves apart in the second, showcasing clinical finishing, creativity and composure under pressure. Let's break down the key moments. Manchester United struck first in the 25th minute. Bruno Fernandes converted a well-worked move, assisted by Matheus Cunha, to put the visitors ahead. Wolves responded just before half-time, with Jordi Bellegarde scoring from a D. Moller Wolf assist in the 45+2nd minute to level things up. The goal was a timely boost for Wolves and set up an intriguing second half. But the second half belonged entirely to Manchester United. Barely 6 minutes after the restart, Mbeumo's attempt to rescue the game for Wolves was undone by Diogo Dalot's brilliant assist, allowing United to regain the lead with ease. Then in the 62nd minute, Mason Mount doubled United's advantage, finishing a clever pass from Bruno Fernandes to make it 3-1 and effectively put the game out of reach. To seal the victory, Bruno Fernandes stepped up once more, converting a penalty in the 82nd minute to complete his brace and give United a dominant 4-1 win. Wolves pressed for answers, but United's defence remained composed, protecting their commanding lead and ensuring all 3 points returned to Old Trafford. A dominant second-half display, clinical finishing, and key contributions from Fernandes, Dalot, and Mount highlight Manchester United's attacking depth. Wolves fought hard, but United's quality proved decisive. With this win, United continue their charge up the Premier League table, while Wolves will need to regroup quickly ahead of their next challenge. Stay tuned to Sport Lab for full tactical breakdowns, player ratings, and all the post-match analysis from this Premier League clash. If you want, I can also make